So how does it work? Basically, the Geiger Nano is designed to measure radiation while moving. So the idea is to put it on a car or on your bicycle or clip it on your backpack, and it goes into this case. And the case, as you can see, has a rubber lining. So when you close it, it's watertight, and it is also kind of shockproof. So you can, though it's not recommended, you can drop it and it will survive, a meter or some normal drops. It will survive it. It also is very good in terms of vibration. You can put it on a bicycle and it will not break. So outside of the case, what it basically is, it consists of a main board that has a few mini boards on it, and some people may recognize this is the so-called FIO. It's an Arduino board that has a socket for an XB, it has a charger, and it has the main CPU. So this basically controls the system, and the board here, we use it to enable Bluetooth or Wi-Fi communication outside of the system. So you can see you can see the radiation level on your iPhone, or you can send it to a computer network. There's a second CPU, a second Arduino, that is a data logger. This has an SD card, and this writes all the data to an SD card. The idea of the system is not to rely on wireless communications in principle, so everything gets recorded on an SD card. And like taking a picture with your camera, after you have collected data, you go to your computer, and then you can upload it on a website, and then it shows the map, and then it goes into the big database where all the other data is sitting. The third is a GPS module that gives us the location and timestamp for the measurements. And then there's an OLED display that shows the radiation level and other information about the measurements being done. Like in this case, it shows the, if we have a GPS lock, which we don't have inside, also the timestamp and the radiation level into different units. Then there's some small electronics on the board that control some LEDs and a little buzzer and stuff like that. The second part of the system is on the flip side, and this is where the Geiger Tube is. This is the actual Geiger Tube. It's a Geiger Tube made by a company in New York, L&D. It's a well-known company among people that measure radiation, and this is what is known as the so-called pancake Geiger Tube. It is a rather famous sensor. It's a 2-inch window. It's very wide, and therefore the sensitivity is pretty high, and it makes it suitable for using it while driving. It is also sensitive to alpha and beta and gamma radiation. So outside of the case, you can also measure alpha and beta particles. Inside of the case, it is a pure gamma instrument, because the case shields most beta and all alpha particles. There's a high voltage board that puts high voltage on the tube, because the Geiger Tube needs about 500 volts to operate. That's why it says don't touch it. And this board here basically converts the pulses into a little pulse that then goes to the main board, and there it is counted. And that is what the Geiger Tube does. It counts pulses as the indication of radioactivity. And that's really what it is. It is a kit. It is easy to build, because all the small parts come on little subboards, so you don't have to do SMD soldering. Any basic soldering skill will be good enough to put it together. And then, as you can see, there are some acrylic plates. These are cut on a laser cutter, and they're actually done here in the Fab Cafe. Any laser cutter, you can download the pattern and you can cut them yourself, or it's part of the kit, so you get a plate with a number on it. So that's what it is.